Brad, I mean, he says, you know, if saving lives and helping kids is wrong, then I'm wrong. But at the same time, Charity Watch says it's not actually a charity, that they can't even look at the Clinton Foundation and grade it because the business model isn't a charity, that they only give away 10% of what comes in. And it seems like the chickens are coming home to roost. Do you think people are paying attention this time?
Yes, and they get it. And long before the Clinton Foundation was the email scandal. And the American people have this baked in, and it's only going to add to their distrust and unlikability that they have towards Hillary Clinton. Look, Bill Clinton basically gave a allocution when he said to the American people, if Hillary is elected president, we're not going to have anything to do with the foundation. Well, Hillary Clinton was a Secretary of State.
Yeah.
If you can't do it as president, you can't do it as Secretary of State. Now, while it's true they may not have gotten a salary, they got a benefit. And what was the benefit? The power they had and the speaking engagements.
All the speaking money, all the flying, all their whole staff. Capri, let me ask you on that point, though, because they did, I think they made a really bad move by saying they're going to shut it down if she becomes president, because immediately when she was calling in from her yacht there, she called in to Anderson Cooper's show, and she said, stumblingly, because she's terrible at answering these questions, she said, well, you know, this would be unique circumstances will exist if I'm president, so I'll shut it down. And Anderson Cooper jumped on her and said, well, didn't they exist when you were Secretary of State? And she stepped right on top and went, no, 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 no. I mean, that's not good.
Well, let me tell you something. If I were in her shoes in 2009, I would have absolutely walled myself off from the Clinton Foundation. I would have made sure that, you know, my staff would not talk to anyone that had any kind of relationship with the Clinton Foundation. And I would have ensured then that you didn't take any corporate donations or deal with any foreign countries. That being said, I mean, I think at this point, they probably wish they would have done exactly what I said. Hillary Clinton has acknowledged where there may be smoke, but there's no fire. I think the real question here is one of optics. I have no sympathy for any of what has happened and transpired in this whole mess. But I think the real question is whether or not the American public and the electorate sees this smoke as fire, and if that impacts their choice in November.
I don't think they have learned their lesson, because even with this latest thing where they're saying we're going to wind down most of it if she becomes president, they've confirmed to Fox News that they're going to leave Chelsea Clinton in charge of it, and she's going to continue to raise money. There's no difference. I mean, then she's still taking money in, and she has direct access to her parents. There's no difference.
Yeah, there is no difference, and that's exactly why Chelsea's going to stay there, because her mom and dad are going to meet with her personally or on the phone and direct the workings of the foundation.
Though. I'm sorry, that's not fair, because you could say the same thing about Trump's kids in the business, and that's just simply not fair.
But they're not collecting money from foreign. No, Capri, they're not collecting money from foreign governments in exchange for favors. They're running a business. They're not taking in money.
That's right, and not posing themselves or holding themselves out to be a charity. We do know this, that there was cross-pollination of State Department employees with the foundation at the same time they're working for the government. And Hillary made an agreement with the government not to do that, and she did it.
All right, thanks to both of you.